Hi everyone and welcome back to Farrand Film, and today I am bringing you my review of the 4K UHD release of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Now, I have already reviewed the film on the channel, so consider this a companion piece to that cinematic review, but I was sent this by the kind folks at Paramount, and I basically went through again. I watched some sort of key sequences and I went through the special features as well. It's a 2-disc set, the film being on the 4K disc and the special features being on a separate Blu-ray disc, probably because of the length of the film, because you're talking about 2.5 hours here. Yeah. So this is, like I say, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. It's available to download and keep from the 11th of October, which we've kind of gone past by now. But recently, talking 6th of November, it got its physical release on 4K UHD Blu-ray Steelbook, 4K UHD Blu-ray, and DVD. So, hailed as the biggest and best action movie of the year, the edge of your seat non-stop thrill ride Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 becomes available on those dates, like I just said. This is Tom Cruise at the top of his game in the best Mission Impossible ever, that's loaded with next-level action and thrills, certified fresh with a stellar 96% score on Rotten Tomatoes. It received widespread acclaim and a coveted A cinema score from the fans. Now, I'm going to give you a brief synopsis. I'll show you a trailer, and then we'll get into what's on the disc. So, in this film, Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise, and his IMF team embark on their most dangerous mission yet to track down a terrifying new weapon that threatens all of humanity before it falls into the wrong hands. With the fate of the world at stake, a deadly race around the globe begins. Confronted by a mysterious, all-powerful enemy, Ethan is forced to consider nothing can matter more than his mission, not even the lives of those he cares about the most. Here is the trailer for the film.
Your days of fighting for the so-called greater good are over. This is our chance to control the truth, the concepts of right and wrong for everyone for centuries to come. You're fighting to save an ideal that doesn't exist. Never did. You need to pick a side.
Okay, so film remains the same. Love the film. I think it's absolutely superb. They're really getting Mission Impossible right with these latest ones, especially Fallout and this one. I'm really looking forward to Dead Reckoning Part 2. There are certain set pieces in it and sequences that will look phenomenal in 4K UHD. So obviously, Tom Cruise's big bike stunt towards the end, the whole sort of finale train sequence, but even going before that, so the whole ride through, I believe it's Rome, with Hayley Atwell's character Grace in the Fiat 500, again looked stunning. Thinking about the features, it's quite a packed set. So you get a commentary by director Christopher McQuarrie and editor Eddie Hamilton, and they're basically taking you through the scenes and the shots and everything, sort of what they did there. There's then a sort of subsection of features where we look at the different places that they went to film and the different places where it's shot. So Abu Dhabi, Rome, and Venice. You're then looking at the free fall sequence, so the bike off the cliff, speed flying, which is them doing the various speed flying stunts throughout the film, the train sequence, and then there is a deleted shots sequence and an editorial feature, which are exclusive to the digital release. So these aren't on the disc. Now, I'm purely nitpicking on the set here, but knowing that for all the little quirks that Grace has, so Haley Atwell's character of Grace in terms of theft and occasional sleight of hand, I know that magician Ben Hart was involved in the sort of structure of the way that they did things. Everything that they did was in camera. There was no CGI with those tricks, and he taught Tom Cruise and Haley Atwell how to do those kinds of things. I would have loved to have seen a feature on that. Just being a Magic fan myself, but obviously we didn't get that here. This is sort of about the grander scale of things. Now, as a fan, as someone who's looking forward to part two, I have no idea where they're going to go with Dead Reckoning part two. Not a clue at all. Like, are you going to put him in space? What is it that's going to happen here? I highly, highly recommend, if you have not done so already, checking this film out. And I say that because, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because Fallout did really well. This didn't do as well as it should have done in the cinema, and I think that might have been to do with the timing of the release. I know there was a lot of sort of controversy around the fact that, in terms of the IMAX release, especially, it didn't get that long in IMAX cinemas because it was sort of almost clashing with Oppenheimer, and really the sort of beast that was Barbenheimer this summer really took over the box office and pushed Dead Reckoning Part 1 further down the list. I think it's a great film. I think it's an absolutely phenomenal film. And I will once again mention Pom Klementieff's character of Paris, who I think is absolutely outstanding. And for me, if I get round to doing an awards at the end of the year, best supporting actress right there. It's absolutely phenomenal. She is a perfect character for this franchise. So that was a quick one. But like I say, this is available to buy now in shops. It's been available for about a week now at time of recording of this. You can get it on digital download. I highly, highly recommend that you give the 4K UHD a look. It's just one of those films that is just made for that format and made for the sort of cinema system that you've got in your house if you've got one. But yeah, it's definitely worth a look. And again, one of the underrated films of the year. It's not enough people are talking about it. Really, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. As usual, stay safe, look after each other. I will see you next time. We've got a couple more of these home entertainment releases to do. So I will see you on the next one.